Okay, sorry I'm a little bit late. Had to run to the store during that little break period. Um, but I'm back. And I wanted to set up a top-down camera because our print is done. So, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Got my Value Village camera, bendy arm, phone stand thingy. Let's see here. Nice. Nice. Oh, sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see if this is going to work for me today. The print looks awesome. The print looks awesome. Pew, 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 pew. Sorry, just give me 1 second. It takes me a while to actually set this up. It's not working yet, is it? Let's see, though. Video, iPhone. It's mega zoomed in. Why isn't this working, though? Oops. Sorry, you're just gonna hear me for a second while I try and figure this out. I really don't want to have to stop anything. Nice, okay. Preset. Hi. Hi. How does this look? It's kind of like not that good. Also, the microphone's like really in the way here. Just gonna turn. Oh my gosh, everything's maxed on this. Oh, here we go. Hello? Hello, okay. So that'll pick up, it's picking up everything. I'm gonna go turn the fan of my fireplace off, because that's quite loud as well. This actual phone holder is so sketch. Okay, that's okay. It's so zoomed in. I'm not sure it's supposed to be that zoomed in. But nothing's working, so I guess we're just gonna... Oh, there we go. There we go! Nice! A little bit of crotch cam there. Let's change that. Okay. So, Nobody's here. That's a bit of a shame. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so yeah, we are going to assemble our first little test pieces here. Unfortunately, nobody's on right now, but I do want to get started on this, so I'm just going to go for it. Because you could always watch this again later if it's really important, but I don't think it is. This cable's just going to kind of be in the screen, I think. Oh, actually. No, we're still good. Okay, hooked up to my battery. Good. And then I can put this off to the side here. Nice, that'll do. That'll do. Okay, so here is parts. Looking real fresh. These all look great. The bridging did pretty good. I might want to add support there, but it doesn't really matter. That part's not necessary. These are all looking nice. These are all looking real nice. Now let's see if I got my sizes right on everything. So we can start with the bearing. That's a little loose, but that'll be okay. This, it fits-ish. The little recess, the recessed, oh my god, my fingers are so sore today. This recessed part is not working. It's a little, I didn't make it recessed enough. I should have done it 1.5 mils. I don't know why I didn't do that. But I'm going to just probably like use this to try and clean it out a little bit. See if we can't get it to fit on this, because I hate to have to reprint for something so silly. Just chewing away some material there. Right, that kind of works. My fingers are so sore though. I'm just gonna go to my arbor press and press this in quickly. Yeah, Ruby, you're back. We got parts. This one's a little tight. I'm just gonna go to the arbor press really fast and just squeeze this in. Give me 1 second. Oh, baby, the arbor press is nice. Look at that. So that's fitting real good in there. Love the accuracy. So that'll go there. That goes in there. That's a little loose, but that's fine. Hands are so tired. Oh, actually, can you hear me okay? Hold on, I'm just changing it. I'm changing it to my proper microphone. Let me know if you can hear this okay. Okay, so this is where I actually don't know. I don't quite know how this is supposed to go on here. Is that how we want it? I'm gonna have to reference my design here, I think. Looking at that. I think that'll be okay. And then we throw the bearing bushing or insert on. Oh gosh, it's hard to do now. Yeah, I switched the audio source because the iPhone microphone isn't quite as good. So far, everything's working great with the fitments. This one's a bit tight. Oh man. if I didn't do any labor today, this wouldn't be so hard, but my hands are so tired. My hands are so tired. Come on, you. I don't have enough strength to grab onto those tiny little parts of this. Oh, that's much better. God, there it is. Oh, that's so satisfying. Okay, so this guy's supposed to be centered. Where's Tin Talon at? Okay, 93.5. So 46. Yes, that's gonna come. Yeah, so this is like basically. Oh. Yeah, so center's like right there-ish. Like that, probably. It feels center enough. Oh god, this is so hard. My damn hands, they're so weak. That's a good point. Taking it off might be a real bummer because this definitely isn't how I want the final piece to end up. Ooh, that's nice. I also didn't print any bushings yet. Oh, I should do that. Hold on. No, I'm just going to use, because they're so tight, I can just rely on. Oh, yeah. Okay. And while I was out, I picked up some screws. So this one's like way too long. That one's way too long. Maybe that will work. That one's too short. Okay. Okay. Oh, I need to drill this out. Because this hole was printed vertically, like this. That hole's not very good. So I just need a 1/4-inch drill bit and a drill. I gotta grab that from the shop. I'll be right back. Yeah, I mean, I actually really like the tight fit. It doesn't need to be looser than that. I think the tighter it is, the less chance there's going to be issues with things kind of not getting all wiggly. Ooh, this doesn't feel great. This doesn't feel great. Let's see, does that work? That works enough. I'm not even going to use a screw on this. Oh, actually, yeah, this works great because the jack actually forces these pieces apart a bit. Oh my gosh. My fingers are so sore right now. This actually feels... It feels like this is so tight, but it's not. It's just I'm so weak. I'm so weak right now. I gotta use a wrench for this, which is crazy. I'm a weak boy. Like, literally holding this wrench up is hard. Strongest CAD designer. I was sledgehammering posts in all morning into the ground. And it is like, you know, you gotta grip that sledgehammer real hard. And then all the vibrations just makes me very weak, but it's okay. Okay, this is working, but this is not very loose feeling. Okay, let's go with that. So there we are. This is tight. This is really tight, the action on this, and it should be like so loose. So I got to work on that. I think I could literally just remove this whole section because it's just adding so much unnecessary friction. I thought it was adding like a lot of strength, a lot of necessary strength, but I don't think it actually is. And then on top of that, this shouldn't be slipping past here. But I think it's enough to test. I think it's enough to test. Oh no, do I have enough room for this though? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, maybe a bit looser might be the way to go. Because this, well, let's see. Let's see. God, if I was stronger today. If I was stronger today, let's use some leverage, why don't we? Oh, I would normally be able to do this with my hands, no problem, but I'm so weak today. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. So right off the bat, I got my angle wrong. That's okay. That's an easy fix. Not gonna lie, feeling pretty good about this. Things are a little tight. Things are definitely a little tight. Oh. Oh. I installed this backwards too, but that's okay. This is fine for the test. So, let me switch back to this camera. Get my monitor out of the way here. Okay. Move this out of the way. So this is where I've messed up. It's not a big deal, but the pedal shouldn't be this high up. At this point, the pedal should be considerably lower than this. Which is easy. I just need to change the angle of the hex thing there. Oops. Falling apart now. I also did this backwards. The axle's in backwards. But whatever. But let's take a look at our mechanism, shall we? So theoretically, you launch this forward. You launch this forward. At this point, you do two things. You put a hard stop on the pedal so the pedal can't go down further than this. And then you also have a way that moves this guy out of the way. And then when the momentum carries this forward, it can hit the skin, and then it's able to retract back that far. And notice that's way further back than it would be if this was in place. So we've proven that this works to an extent. Things I need to fix. This is way too tight. This should be like dangling loose almost. The interface between this little tooth and the jack is too little, because you can see it just pushes it right out of the way. This should not be able to push this out of the way. But all of this being said, this looks pretty cool, hey? This bearing keeps popping out because I did this the wrong way. And the action here is nice because of the bearing. That's nice and smooth. It's a little wobbly because that bearing fitting's a little bit too small. So we just need to size that up at the tiniest little bit, but this is nice, yo. I'm liking this. Launch it forward. This goes like this. This can retract back, but it'll be on a spring so that when you pull this back, it'll click back into place like that. Pretty successful first test. Pretty successful first test. It's cool. Now I want to print. I'm going to do another test piece to make sure we get this all, and then eventually I'm going to print it so that just this surface here is flexible filament, and same with this, so it acts as kind of like a pad so you don't hear these pieces interact with each other. Oh, this is working quite good. This is a fun mechanism. We have our next steps. So let's start working on that now. This is cool. It looks cool. Like, it doesn't look like it's that much more on the kick drum pedal, which I really like. I mean, there's going to be all this other stuff out front here, and there has to be a way. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to test. On this pedal, there are these things. I'm not sure what these were for. A lot of kick drum pedals have like little legs that come down, but this has a solid base, so I think they just use the same arms. So that's my assumption, is that was originally for arms that come down like this. But I want to see if we can use that to actuate the jack. So to do that really crudely, I've got some nails here. It's too big. Could arbor press this. I'm going to arbor press this really quick. Yeah, we could use this for the pedal stop too. What I'll probably do is I'll probably just print a block that goes under here, because the pedal actually, the point I want the pedal to stop is probably here, which is below that point, which is below this point. So I'll probably just do a block, which will be really obviously super easy. And then you can actually shift the block back and forth to slightly adjust where your pedal stop is. Yeah, this whole thing needs to rotate back, so we'll figure out the exact angle. I'm going to bring this over to the arbor press, press this little nail in, and I'm going to tie a string, see if that works. Just drop these bearings off so I don't lose them. Okay, so so I've got this little nail that I just put in there, and I'm going to see if we can use that. I don't think it's going to work, actually. It's at the wrong angle. I almost need it to be way back here, because right now if it does that, it's going to pull it. In fact, it'll probably pull it this way, which is wrong. I need it to pull back like that. And this whole thing's just too tight. It's way too tight. I wonder if I literally just loosen this screw, if it'll be... It's not that much better. Just trying to like shimmy it back and forth until it feels kind of loose. Also, these parts aren't lining up exactly right, which is a bit weird, but it could be for a bunch of different reasons. This looks so cool. Yeah, so I need something that hooks onto here, so when you press the pedal down, it pops this out. This can return, and then Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be really neat. I can't wait to play it. I'm going to have to get my drum kit up here. I have some of it, but I need to get a snare drum and a stand and everything, so. Well, we can fix the things we definitely know first. So how am I going to do this? So I'm looking at this basically. This ends up being a few degrees over perfectly horizontal at the point we want it to release. I can't tell if this feels like it's added way more weight. Yeah, I'm going to leave it on while we redesign this anyways. Because I'll definitely want to play around with different orientation stuff. I gotta just tidy up this workspace here. Just give myself some room, put my print bed back. I got so much sun today too, so I'm like definitely feeling a little, you know how sun just makes you drowse town? I'm feeling drowse town right now. Okay. As far as like the structural integrity of all this, I think it's really solid. I'm not worried at all about the strength of this, which is great. That's ideal. I might need to do some like little bushings or something to make this looser. Why does it feel so tight? I think it's literally just because of the long hole. That doesn't even need to be there. Let's start with that. Let's start with that. Plant light. You got indoor plants? Doing like hydroponics or something? Okay, so we're going to get rid of this whole thing. Because this actually doesn't do anything, it seems like. It doesn't do anything other than just add friction to the system. Okay, that's better. Next thing is we need this to stick out way further. I wonder if I could even literally just get rid of this. Just make it like a straight point. The problem is now that it's sticking out way further, This has to swing away further, but that's okay. Just growing 2 air plants are fun. Oh, nice. I love plants. I think I mentioned it. My wife's a big gardener, so I get lots of plants. She's got so many plants, but mostly outdoor. Actually, no, she's got a lot indoor as well. That should grab onto that a lot better now. Oh, sorry. It's like I always forget my face. I might move. Why isn't it letting me move anything over here? What's happening? It's okay. This should grab onto this a lot better now. I am still going to add. I'm going to add a small fillet here. Now the other thing is this yellow jack piece just isn't fitting that nice in here. Like, we are getting this gap, so it's not able to go in as far as we need. So I need to make that a little. I think what I can do is actually just push this surface in. You want to push this out further even, hey? Might be a good call. Oh my gosh. What? Are these not? Why does it do that? Why would it do that? Let's go minus 0.4 on that. Okay, something is happening. Something that I don't like. These aren't lined up perfectly somehow. Why wouldn't those be? Yeah, that's true. I should maybe increase the angle as well. The thing is, it's got there's a balance to it, because it's got to be the perfect amount that it holds strong, but then it can't be like too much of a hook, or it will not want to release. Also, so sorry about the noise. It's so windy outside. It's so windy where I live. There we go. Let's go minus 0.4. Give that a little bit more space. What? Okay. Now that's gonna fit a little tighter in there, which is what we want. So these surfaces, this hinge is just a little bit too tight. I could theoretically just drill it out like a little bit harder, but it also has to be strong. But I feel like removing that middle piece will really fix that already. I feel like that's gonna work. Okay, now the big issue is our cam angle. Oh. My dad's calling me. I think Onshape does let you do joints and stuff. I'm gonna have to call him back later. I do think it lets you do joints and stuff. I've never done that, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it does, and I think it's actually quite good from what I've heard. But I could be wrong potentially. Excuse me. I think you are right about this angle. I should like make that angle because you're right. It is a circle, so it is going to want to be pushing outwards. So let's maybe adjust this angle. And I think I had it right at one point. Like this angle's right, and then for some reason I added a little bit of an extra. I just gotta find the sketch that references that. There it is. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Who needs it? So sketch 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this. Where does that disappear at? Okay, I don't know why it's being like this. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? Let's just project this and I'm just gonna draw a line that is go like that. Okay, just ever so slightly more angled, I think that's going to be better. And technically this angle, I believe, is perfectly... Oh no, it's slightly more than if it was just straight from the axle. And I think that's going to be better. Do you know... Oh yeah. Let's add that fillet back. Yo. Okay, now let's worry about our cam angle. So the ideal resting state or low state is here. This could be there. So we want the axle flat. That's what I have designed, right? Flat axle. Wait, I'm confusing myself. So when it's flat axle, this should be straight up. That seems too subtle. So let's aim for maybe slightly more turned. And then make this straight up. Okay. So I think that's how we're going to want to start this. And then capture position for sure. And I'm going to want to move this. This and this. And then unclick that. We're going to want to rotate. Oh, shoot. We're going to want to rotate this back to like that point. 10 degrees, 10-degree difference. Does that seem right? No, I feel like it's got to be. Hang on, I might have just. I'm going to cancel this. It's so hard to take this apart. It's hard to take this apart. I'm just not strong enough today. I'm just not strong enough today. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way, that's why. So close. It's okay. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm thinking I don't actually have to change anything, and it's just I just did it on the wrong face of the hexagon, if that makes sense. Look at this top-down cam. Ba, ba, ba. I want to have glasses cams too. POV, baby. Oh, like this. We're almost there. There we go. So, I might just need to rotate these back one. I might just need to rotate these back one. That's what it was. That's what it'll be. It is way looser now. It's not that bad anymore. So that's a very good thing. That might be back too far now. Which is okay, because then that just means we need to do sort of like in between of what it is. Oh no. Oh no. That's perfect. That's actually perfect. I think we're perfect on this. So the pedal bottoms out here, which is a bit far forward, but we can just have it bottom out there, which is fine. And then this is a pretty good starting point, and that's a pretty good pedal height. So this works. Boom, release, hits, bounces back to that point, and then pedal retracts. I think that's good. Let me get the bearings in here to really verify. Because obviously the height of the bearings makes a difference. God, I'm feeling drowsy all of a sudden. I'm a sleepy boy. You know, we can actually come back a tiny little bit further than this. I think it'll be worth doing that. Coming back. Sorry. Oh, this is loose now. Oh, because I don't want to screw through it. Wait, it's almost like that didn't make a difference. I see what I need to do now, though. I need to rotate the axle. Oh, that'll be so much easier. That'll be so much easier to understand. So, instead of rotating, so right now this is showing like it's kind of like flat, but we want to just rotate this guy so that it is like that, I think. Yeah, it's not quite it's not quite straight up and down, and it's not quite flat. I think we want something closer to that. So that's pretty easy. And to fix that on this, we can just project this. We can, why can't I isolate anymore? Join. What just happened? Finish. Can I just get rid of this whole? Yes. Oops. And then we can extrude. Actually, what even is that? I don't even know what that is. Okay, so new hole orientation there. That should be better. Now I want to make this bearing fitting situation. Oh, annoying. I don't want to cut into the bearing fitting. Okay. So the bearing fitting doesn't matter if it's lined up with this. Now, what I do want to do is I want to make that bearing fitting work. So it adds a little bit of a space. So there's a bit of a... Okay, what is my camera doing here? Oh no. There we go. So there's a bit of a space here. And that is entirely a result of our bearing fitting being too loose. The actual bearing is such a nice press fit, which is what we want. But the bearing fitting is a bit loose. So I need to add, I'm going to add a little bit of a shoulder. I'm going to increase the size by like maybe 0.1 millimeters. And I'm going to add a bit of a shoulder. And then I'm also going to shrink the width of this piece just the tiniest bit so that this part of the bearing is sticking out, and then that will allow this piece to be pressed right up against it, and that'll prevent any wiggling, and it'll press on the bearing and make it nice and tight. And that'll feel so much better. So we can increase this by 0.1. Did that even work? Yeah, because I think it was 9.5 before. Let's just double check. Yeah, 9.5. So we're pumping this by 0.1, and I can, heck, let's just bearing fitting 0.1 bigger. Let's just print that right now. While we're working on everything else, because we'll test that out. This should print like so fast, 10 minutes. Okay. But I want the side. So I want the side up against there, or I can just shrink this. I can just shrink it. Yeah, all I need to do is make these parts stick out, and right now it's like perfectly flush. Oh, actually this side doesn't have it. Okay, yeah, so that's perfect. So I need a little bit of a flange there. Get rid of that. Let's do 20.5. And then we can extrude this out literally 0.5 mils. Oops. We can finish sketch. Extrude this out 0.5 mils. I don't want to cut, I want to join. Okay, new body, I guess. Make me do silly things, and then we can combine these two. Boom. And then I want to make this guy 0.5 mils smaller. .35, hey? Let's get rid of this hole now and redo it. Oh wait, where was it? Right in the center of that? Okay. This looks like a cool, like, engine rotor or something. Okay. Should have reprinted this part too. Now we gotta figure out this release situation. I also think we need to have a spring that pulls this back against this. I have a box of springs somewhere, and I don't know where it is. So maybe I'll just leave that for now, but that'll be easy, just having a spring basically attached to this so that it's always pulling the beater back just the tiniest bit. Let's insert McMaster car component. Let's do a screw. Let's do a hex head screw. 1/4 and then what did we do? 2.5 inch, I think was the one. Partially threaded. We don't need threads on that. Okay. So now we got to figure out our release. we got to figure out our release. I'm going to take the top cam down so I could text my dad. Just tell him I'll call him back later. I tuned out too. I think we fixed everything we needed to fix. Any issues we found. Now the big challenge is going to be the release mechanism for this bad boy. A thread hanging down isn't going to work. I think I need something on this side with a rod, basically, that pushes it out of the way. Which is fine. But it just means I'm probably going to have to model this kick drum pedal a little more than I wanted to. Gonna have to model it a little more than I wanted to. It's stuck on there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to model it a little bit more. Which is kind of a bummer, but I think I can just do something that sort of wraps around. I mean, I'm gonna need a mounting spot anyways for all of that. For all of that stuff. Gonna need some sort of mounting spot for all the extraneous stuff. The only thing is how close. Okay, I think I know what I have to do. I think I know what I have to do. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna create a mounting point that connects this thing to this thing, and that will allow me to triangulate off of that point, and then I can build out in either direction. So I can have something that bolts on there, and then it'll hang off of the axle. So I think in order to do this, I'm going to reassemble the axle on this. Oh, that was stupid. That was stupid. Done. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So with the axle in place, we can start to figure out how this all comes together. I just need to bolt something on there that hooks onto the top of this. So that'll be easy. I'm going to take okay, so 3 mils off of this point. Capture position, 3 mils, boom. And then how big is this diam? $25.5. We are going to just build this right off of. We'll build it off of that, right? Where's that guy? Yeah. Why aren't you referencing the origin? This is so silly. I can't even turn the origin on. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I guess I'll just take that. Oh my god, what is happening? Oh. 25.5. So I'm modeling, I'm kind of starting to model the frame of the kick drum, so I understand where things are. How thick is this? 19. 19. I actually do not like this visibility control. me. Okay, and then it bumps out at this point to how big? $32.2. And then, wait, did I measure? $32.2 and 6.5. What do we got here? 30. Construct. Create a loft betwixt this point and this point. Join. And then create an additional loft betwixt this point and this point. Join. It's kind of a silly shape. And then there's fillets all over this bad boy. Okay, so we need that. And then I guess I'll just get the bearing spot too, so I'm not blocking that. 22. $22.3. We can make it even a little bit bigger. Like maybe 24. Okay, extrude. Just so we don't block any of that when we're designing our stuff. Okay. Now I need to get the measurement from the center of this to the center of this hole, and then figure out the offset as well. This offset. $111. $111. And that's about lined up with the face of this, which is great. So 222. Meaning this is going to be 111. Nice. So that's the arm. Actually, we can model the arm as well. Where are we thickness wise? Right here. $20 and it's a little bit set back, but that's okay. We can We can model it flat, I think. Yeah, I just measured it right there. Love you guys. Whole family's in here. Whole family's in here now. And then I can take the center of that, which is... what is that, 18.5? And then we can coincident this to this. And that should give us our exact point for the hole, which happens to be a 1/4 inch hole, which I love. 6.35. Yeah. My wife gets accused of being a bot a lot. But I swear she's not. I swear she's a real girl. She's a real girl. Fresh off the printer. How does this fit? Oh, that's nicer. I could probably even go a bit more, but I could go a bit more. Let's try a little bit more. And while we're at it, I'll reprint some other parts too. But let me just finish this first, actually. Because what I can do then is I can also print a nice flat piece to make sure I'm getting this correct. Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to when I have to actually worry about bots. I don't. I mean, I guess I'm not looking forward to it because this is really nice, but it'll be hilarious, and that'll just mean things are going pretty good when I get some bot spams. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just do a test piece here. I'm going to do a test piece, 22. Wait, 20? That was 22. No, it's 20. And then let's go with this, just random shape here. And then we can extrude this out and see how accurate my measuring is, because that's honestly a huge part of CAD, is just seeing how good, understanding how to measure stuff, which a lot of the times I really struggle with it. So let's see if I nailed this or not. I'll just print this first because test frame, save as mesh. Save. If you happen to be a mod, been waiting to try being a mod. All right, you're on. You're on. You're the official mod when I need one. Oh, I'm honored. I haven't thought. Well, I mean, I've thought of it, but I don't know what that requires. If I can do both at the same time, that would be amazing. I don't really know how that works though. Okay, so that's going to print now, and we'll see how accurate my measuring is. If that works out, then we can start actually designing off of that as a reference point. I wonder if that will be stiff enough on its own. That would be really cool. Basically, I'm going to... Okay, so yeah, basically what I want is... I want to... But yeah, if you want to... If I ever need a mod, I'll... you'll be the first guy I reach out to. Just go 36, I guess. And then extrude this out to this point. New body that bad boy. Combine this. We're going to cut with that. Oh, shoot. I should have kept bodies, hey? Should have kept tools. Cross-section analysis. Where is that on here? Why can't I do a cross-section analysis on this now? Do I have Twitter or Blue Sky? Yeah, I have Twitter. I can add you on there. I don't really use it much, like YouTube and Discord. I use quite a bit. I really like Discord. Okay, what is going on here? Why didn't that disappear? Oh. Okay, actually, so if I get rid of this... that's one of these constructions, isn't it? It's unbelievable that I can't hide this while this is open. What a mess that is. It's okay, though. What do you mean they don't need your government ID? Like, Discord doesn't? This is harder than I thought it was going to be. Why is this being such a difficult boy? can't do a cross-section analysis. This is really frustrating. I gotta look this up. Why can't I see cross-section analysis when editing in place? There is no section analysis. Okay, okay, I see. I can activate. That's so confusing. Oh, I don't like that. Yeah, we can do Twitter. I'm not on it very much, so I don't know how frequently I'll check messages, but I can start. This is frustrating. Why wasn't it? Okay, first of all, let's get rid of this construction. I want to see what's happening in here, but I can't see what's happening in here. I guess I can just go with modify. Okay, I know what I need to do. I will just... It's dumb. It's dumb that I have to do this. I don't understand the whole context thing yet. Okay. Okay, and then we won't cut the test frame though. Okay, just like that. And we can get rid of this. Boom. There we go. There we go. And I can get rid of that. So now that should wrap right around that little piece. Let's get my test frame back and let's join them. And let's keep tools on this. So that my test frame stays. I only heard that once. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Why are you calling that my test frame? Why is it doing that? Okay, and then I obviously will need to chop away at this. Could go half, but I kind of want to go a little less than half. Sure, 9.5 degrees. This will snap into place ideally. I just really can't have this part be wiggly. So that will snap on over top of this. That's going to be in the way. So we're going to have to get rid of that. It goes right out past that point. So let's just go like this. Let's go like this. Let's get rid of all this nonsense. Oh, I didn't need to do that much. I didn't need to do that much. Let's pull that back a bit. Okay. See, this is the thing. This is what I love about having a fast printer. Our little test piece is already done. Little test piece is done. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think that lines up real nice. So this lines up with that. Ow, it's hot. And then this lines up with the hole there. Perfect. So this allows us to now model off of this whole thing. I want to do one more test now that I've got this like cap piece on to see if we can actually make something real solid here. I do want to meet with that so that we get so that we're lined up properly there. Perfect fit. Maybe I'll just bump that out a couple mils, I think, because I much prefer having a flat surface to play off of. I'm just not sure if this is going to be strong enough, so let's do it. Let's test this. Second test frame. This one's going to be a longer print. Am I going to need to do supports on this? Let's see, what does it suggest? It's not suggesting I'm going to need supports, which is... Oh yeah, no, we should be good. 22 minutes. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. No, that's great. 22 minutes is awesome for a completely custom part. Now, with this in place, if this is solid enough, this might be enough to really sample. Now, one concern I'm having is that like, where's the kick drum actually? The skin. Let me just take a measurement in the other room quickly, something that I can reference. Okay, from center of the axle to the skin of my kick drum is 70 millis. So let's add that, and we can add that right on this frame piece that we've been working on, because none of this stuff's going to be moving in context to each other. I don't understand what this context stuff is, though. Sketch, boom, 70. Okay, so that's where our skin is. Oh, you know what? Way better idea. Way better idea. Origin. This is already centered. Let's construct an offset plane. 70. Boom. Let's open it up and let's add a surface here. Just a big ol' square for now. Finish. Okay. And then let's extrude this -1. Great. Turn that sketch off. Turn these. Oops. Turn that sketch off, and let's bring this opacity down. Okay. Now I can see how much room I can work with along the front of this whole bad boy, and actually editing from the top will be nice and useful here. So I think it's going to be worth coming way out front here and just basically copying it on the other side. so that I can have 2 points that will interact with the jack. And then this will also give me a good mounting spot for the damping mechanism, which we haven't even started working on yet. Oh, and I still got to finish my other video. Still got to finish my other video. Oh. And then I also want to see, like, realistically, how far is this? How far are we allowing this to? So we got lots of room. We got lots of room because the beater can't even go that far. The beater's probably stopping. Oh, let's model the beater. Let's model the beater. This is like pretty long for the beater. Yeah, this is pretty long for the beater, but that's okay. What are we at? Approximately 125 mils. 125 millis. Capture position. Sketches. Extrude. 125. Boom. Sketch. Boom. Cha-cha. Beater is 50 exact. Weird. And then how tall is it? On approximately 35. $50 exact. 35. Nice. There's our beta. So, finish. So, really we're like maxed out kind of there, but theoretically we could go a little bit further because I might shrink the length a bit. So what that means is we have lots of room in between all this nonsense that we can play with. My only concern is like this is really the only point where it's actually going to be like clamped, but I could have a set screw that comes through this body that clamps onto the frame. So I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay. Let's just oh, and then when this comes backwards, yeah, so basically I can't have anything coming over top because I was thinking it would be nice if I could have a piece that comes over top, but I can't really do that because this has to be able to come back like this far. So that basically makes over top not an option. But we can come forward and through this way, which is what we will do. And then we'll have something that comes from that point, reaching over or reaching through and hitting that. And this whole thing will slip on like a nice little sweater. So actually, to do that, let's just get this measurement. $103.5. 103.5. So let's construct an offset plane from here. 103.5. Okay. Nice. And then let's sketch. Just need to do a circle. Wait, actually, let's just project this. That gives us everything we need. Finish sketch. Extrude this -1, so we have a body there. And then I can mirror this body using whatever plane. Ooh, that actually gets us so close. Okay. But then I can move this out of the way and connect it to that point there. There we go. That's awesome. What kind of stuff are you watching on Twitch? Like, are there people on Twitch that do this kind of stuff? I thought it was mostly like gaming stuff, which most streaming is, even on YouTube too, but okay, so theoretically that fits. For like building things? Or you mean for gaming? There's a whole category for gaming. Yeah, because or I guess like Michael Reeves, I think streams on Twitch, I guess. So that's a perfect example of somebody that does. But I thought he streams gaming. I wasn't sure if he streams gaming or if he builds stuff. To be honest, I'm a big fan of Michael Reeves, though. I think he's so good. It's probably too much. I don't need that much. We can go like this step. 5 millis on that. Oh. Well, that's okay. I would I would love to be a gaming streamer. It feels like I feel like it would be so fun. Oh, that's cool. Art streams. Well, I gotta check out Twitch. I feel like I'd probably really enjoy it, but this is going to add a ton of rigidity, but it also really obscures things. Okay, let's keep sketching. This, I only need this to come down like maybe 50 mils. Makers and crafting. Okay, that's cool. I dig that. I dig that. I did not know there was a whole category for that kind of stuff. That excites me. I've just been such a YouTube boy for so long. Like, I watch almost exclusively YouTube, and I'm on YouTube. But I definitely would be open to trying something new. Reach more folks. Okay, this is kind of what I'm thinking right now. And then what we can do from this point is we can get rid of our construction planes. And then let's say we want to release at like that point. So I can actually pop this out further. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna start labeling these. Can I not rename this? That's crazy. I've done like a couple like podcasts and stuff that were streamed to Twitch, and yeah, I totally get the meme thing. I'm down for that. Capture position. Let's pop this out, maybe 7 mils. Pop this out 7 mils. And then I want it so that when this rotates forward, it's going to knock it out of place. So, how do we do that? We can try push-pulling this more. Nope. Oh, I'm sitting so hunched. I gotta stop doing that. Okay, so it's got to be out of the way at this point already. Okay, I see what I gotta do. I gotta close close this. Close this. Bring this back. Oh my gosh, these sketches. Why do the sketches get in the way of me actually moving stuff? Whoa. Okay. So we want to kind of start releasing this at this point. And it's got to be open by that point. Problem is, so this has got to be open here. We got to be open at this point. So, okay, let's close this bad boy. Let's close this bad boy. Let's design on this bad boy. Sketch here. Let's pop that there. Turn off, turn off. And then let's also get this body there. Okay, so at this point that's sitting lower, so we got to come down at an angle. We got to come down from like here. Tab 5 millis. I'll probably make this something that I need to. Probably won't have this print all in one piece, but just for the hex of it, we're gonna do it to test this out. Now let's get this. Finish. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm thinking. This looks really dumb, but that pushes it out of the way. Oops. And then theoretically, it's like that. Oh, that's gonna get caught there, won't it? Yeah, that's so I gotta come in at a stronger angle. So then theoretically this pops up, hits that point. Now this has to ride along there. Once we get to that point, we're vertical. Oh, we're far more than vertical though. Now this is going to be weak. This needs to be stronger. So we have to figure that out. Test body is done. Yeah, we'll do one on each side, but it just looks really weak. So I got to make sure it's strong. Okay, does this fit? Oh. Kind of. Okay. It just about works. It just about works. I need a little bit more room. The big issue is this little, like, there's like a little set screw spot that sticks out, and that's preventing me from actually getting it right on there. And then it doesn't really want to stay down. I was hoping it would be more of a snap in place type of situation, so I might mess with that a little bit, but let's see if I can just carve this out to make more space. I was kind of thinking this was going to be an issue. It's sitting a little high, so I gotta remove a little bit of material. It's just not quite getting down as low as I need it to. It's a little bit, like, this needs to come down a little bit more. It's very close though. And I think once this is buckled in, yeah, we're a little bit high on that hole. It's not quite there. It looks good on camera, but it's not quite there. Yeah, so I'll just carve it out a bit more, and then that'll make it fit. And frankly, if it's bolted down here, that's pretty solid. I could beef it up more along the sides, but I think once we have all the other geometry on there, it's going to be quite rigid. Because that won't be able to happen. It's like flexing this way. But that won't be able to happen once we have... What I think I'll do, because I got to wrap up pretty soon here, but what I want to get a nice, decently long print going. So what I can do is just make this instead of printing this all the way out there. Let's just make it that big. This whole thing is going to be... Oh, and I guess I can just carry this piece right onto there. Why does it do that? It makes me do a new body and then I have to join it. Yeah, we can just throw this whole thing over top. Oh, actually, let's go to the outer edge there. There we go. That's going to be stronger. That's going to be way stronger. But I need this to be adjustable. That's the thing. I'm going to need to be able to adjust this. So I'm thinking instead of having... I almost need like some sort of screw mechanism. what point does this actually release? There, I guess. So if this is up here, let's assume we are touching at that point. Yeah, so that's still technically touching there, and that's quite, so I'm not getting my angle enough. I think I need to change the geometry of this thing. But I need this to be adjustable. So let's just get rid of this whole piece here. That looks pretty nice. I don't really like the way this is looking, but I'm gonna have a lot to work with. It's getting real beefy. I liked how small this whole thing was. But I think I can, and honestly, I can probably just do something like this with an offset. Come in with it. Come on. Yeah. That big. And then offset this. That big. And then extrude this back so you can see things. That looks way better. That looks way better. And then maybe we'll do some like this sort of thing. Boom. Offset this. Quarter inch. And then maybe like same with this. But we'll just offset this like that. I don't know, just eyeballing. Just eyeballing. New body. Of course. Just like that, basically. I don't know, it's kind of dumb looking, but kind of cool. Kind of cool, kind of dumb. If this had a Philly on it. Better. Better. Okay. We'll make this look cool. But so a couple things I need to fix on this. Obviously, this needs to move out of the way. I moved 6 millimeters? That doesn't look right. I mean, we could just go, okay, -8. Let's just do that. And then there needs to be a little bit more room in here. -0.25. Okay, and then can we bring this down a bit? Two mils. It's looking pretty good. Oh, some crazy stuff happened there. Is that gonna work? Oh yeah, that should work good. That's looking quite nice. I can throw a little fillet here too. That's kind of cool. Now, I need something that comes off of this that's going to interact with this. And that's the big thing. And I need it to interact at a very specific time. And I need to be able to adjust it. So let's assume we want to go with release when this is basically just past vertical. At that point, so we want this to be already released by that point, which is right there. So I need something that's going to push on that. That I can adjust. Something that will push on that I can adjust. Oh, what I'm going to do, I'm going to construct a midplane between these two. And then I'll be able to use that midplane later. So, what can I do for that? What can I do for that? Woo! 3D printed song video has reached 150,000 views. That's very cool. I love that. I just don't know how to make this adjustable. I need to like study the motion here. It's almost like I need a piece that's kind of like scoops out like that. And so maybe to make it adjustable, we have it on a flexure. Gotta love a good flexure. Flexure. Oh, the issue too with this is this is going to be a problem because I can't get a nut on there now. Wait, how does that work? Oh. Oh, no, never mind. I don't know what's going on. This should be connected to that. Why isn't that connected to that? Oh, I know why. I know why. No, not an as-built joint. Joint betwixt this and this. And it can be rigid. Okay. There. So that's not a problem. But that could get in the way when this is moving. That's kind of a maximum. So as long as nothing comes down past here, ideally if we can keep it vertical, that would be the best. Ideally if we can keep it vertical, that would be the best. Or like at an angle is fine too. Probably at an angle. What is happening? Yeah, so I need to study how this needs to be pushed out. This needs to be pushed out like that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is we're going to do this the slow way. So this is going to be, let's say this is straight up or just slightly before straight up or slightly after straight up. And so we were going to want this to be released at that point. So there is released. So now we can capture position. We can sketch on this plane, and we want to project this. And finish sketch. Finish. And then I want this to re-engage pretty quickly. Like I guess like at this point I want it to be re-engaged. So in order to do that, we need this to come down. Oh god, annoying. Oh, it's so hard to grab this. There we go. It's really annoying to grab this. It wants to move linearly for some reason. It just doesn't want to do what I want it to do. Okay. There we go. I think that's good enough. Let me just get it a little bit That's going to have to do. Why did I remove the stopper arm for the jack? The one that I had, the one that I originally had here, because I want it to be adjustable. So I want it to be like a screw or something. I don't want it to actually be a 3D printed part, ideally. It might have to be some weird like screw with a weird head or something, or like a flexure that I can adjust with a screw, but it needs to be able to move so that I can really fine tune this bad boy. No. Okay. Why is it moving? This is how I want it. Create a new reference. There we go. Capture position. Okay, and now we're going to sketch again on this surface. And I'm going to project that. Okay. And we're going to finish sketch. And then we're going to finish this. So here are the 2 points. So this is where the jack needs to start engaging with whatever I have attached to this. And it needs to end up here in this amount of rotation. Actually, what I should do. What I'm thinking is this shape isn't working. If it was just a circle, though, then that would work. Okay. Okay, I think that's what we're going to do. So, where's our jack boy? Jack. So I think what we'll do is we'll edit this. And we'll sketch here. And we will go from this point there. Now this looks weak. Variable fillet, so it doesn't fillet there, but it fillets out here. Love that. Actually, I'm going to save that. I'm going to do the same on this side. Yes, project, dat circle, okay, finish, extrude to this point, okay, boom, boom, and let's, oh, it's not going to let me. Okay, so just 4.3, I guess we'll just make this 4. Oops. We'll just make this 4 just so it's a round number. Right? Nice. And then we'll do the same here. Variable. This one is 4. Okay. So now this seems like it's going to be a little bit easier to push out of the way. Because this has to go. there. And so realistically, all we need is a piece that goes like shoop. How do I make that adjustable? How do I make that adjustable? I don't know. You were there when I first started talking about this idea, and I was thinking like, oh, this is gonna be so easy. This is gonna be so much simpler than a piano mechanism. And now I'm thinking like, this whole thing, we haven't even touched the damping mechanism yet, and it's quite complicated. But I think that's what's so fun about this is, I'm trying to do that 300 years of mechanism evolution in a few days. And I'm getting learned a lesson, which I love. Yeah, this is my favorite. This is my favorite thing, though. These are like, there's just so many little problems, and it's just like layers and layers of problems. So like, there's individual problems that you have to solve, but then also every time you're solving a problem, it's affecting the other problems that you've already solved and stuff like that. So, makes it so fun. It's so fun. It's so fun. Okay, I think I know what to do. And this is already pretty good. Yeah, this is going to be cool. This is going to be cool, I think. So what we're going to do, exactly. So what we're going to do is we are going to sketch on this plane again. And I know we have that. And I know we have that. Okay, I gotta turn off some other sketches here. I'm getting sketch fatigue. So we have all that. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we do a spline. We go from here to here. We parallel this spline with this line under here. Boop. And then we adjust this spline. Why ain't she letting me? What's happening? Okay, that didn't work for some reason. I'm just going to do a spline that comes way out here. We'll parallelize this one to this. And then I'll move this and adjust this spline. Why can't I move these splines? That's okay. I think this will be fine. Go out a little bit. Awesome, Ruby. Thank you so much for being here. Have a good sleep. I'll probably be back on tomorrow at some point, to be honest. I think I'm going to try and do every day this week. But we might be working on something else too. We'll see. We'll see. But I'd love to, get this printed, and hopefully I'll have something to show you tomorrow. You have a good night. Take it easy. Really appreciate you being here. Let's offset this bad boy. Like 2 mils. Right. And then we can connect this and connect this. Okay. Maybe 2 is too much. I should try 1.5. Yeah, like that's it. That's it. And then we grab this, extrude this back. I mean, we can go quite a bit, I guess. Let's go with new body, like that. Combine these. Okay. Yeah. This is great. And then let's go back to this sketch here. And let's get a construction line going from this point parallel. That should extend it out quite a bit. There we go. And then once again, let's get that perpendicular. There we go. And then we can do one of these guys. Oh, no, that's not going to work. We can do a circle. No, we got to do a square, don't we? I'll just do it by hand. that. Oops. X mirror this bad boy with this. Boom. Okay. Finish. Extrude. Oh. That's annoying. What are you not connected to? That's really annoying. Four mils? No. 3 mils. What? Oh yeah, this isn't combined yet. Okay. Finish. Insert McMaster car. Screws. Metric. M3. I don't really care. I guess like this. Length. I don't know, 20 mil. Is 20 mil crazy? No. It's not long enough. It's not long enough. We need like 40 mil, I guess. Well, no, actually, that's okay. That's okay. Because we can go point to point. And then we can slide this back here. Wait. 0.2. Okay, something's going wrong here. Something's going wrong here. It is quite annoying. Okay. Delete. Finish. Move that point to that point. What? All right. Let's just be honest. Let's just get the angle right. That'll do. And then point to point and slide. Oh my gosh, what? What a crazy thing this is. And then sketch this. Let's project this. Project this, obviously. At this point, I am super zoned in, so I apologize if anybody's actually watching this. Let's just go like that, and like that. And like that. This is so weird looking. Offset inwards. Okay. Let's bring that in. Why? Like, what is going on here? What is going on here? Line. Here. To there. Okay. And let's make that parallel because why not? Okay. Okay. and chamfer this side and this side. Let's bring it in. I'm actually going to cancel. I just want to do this side first. Bring it in there. Yeah, that's not going to work for me. So we're going to have to split this body with this as a splitting tool. That didn't work, did it? We're just going to have to make this a new body. Chamfer. Boom. To boom. To boom. And then chamfer. I wish there was a hotkey for chamfer. It's crazy there's no hotkey for chamf. Shantytown. Boom. Okay, and then we're gonna sketch. Ooh, a spider that freaked me out. Hey, buddy. Why don't you get in there? Why don't you get in there? Get in there. Sorry, spider evacuation. Spider evacuation emergency. Sketch there. Oh, my neck. This is going to be a really annoying thing to print, but I think might be cool. We'll see. Might be cool. We will see. Okay, and then there. Finish. Sketch or extrude, I mean. Boom, 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 boom. I literally don't know what the heck is going on here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Oh yeah, I gotta combine this to this. Okay. And then I want to just shell out this spot here. No, not gonna let me do it? Okay, whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Super dumb looking. Super dumb looking. I should do another fillet under there. So frustrating that I can't just do it. Right here. We'll make this look better. This is just a sample. So this is connected to this directly. And by adjusting the screw, I wonder if I press pull this, because I did it a little bit. I don't need it to come out that far. What is that? What is any of that? Anyways, that allows you to adjust. It uses the flex in the plastic. So let's see if that works. And I'm gonna wrap up because I'm tired, yo. So does this work? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So it goes, doop, hits that, immediately starts pushing it out. I think it's going to work. I think that's going to work. How crazy does that look? That looks pretty crazy, I think. And we can print this. Or we can print a soft pad on the front of this. We can print a soft pad on this. And then that screw allows you to adjust. So let's just try this, I guess. And we'll probably print it like that for now. It doesn't really matter because this isn't the final piece. We might even make all this stuff separate pieces, but we'll see. Save as mesh. We're going to call this test jack pusher. And let's reprint the rest of the parts too. So on this guy, we want to do the new bearing fitting. Oh yeah, let's do that as well. Capture position. Boom, boom. And we're going to press pull this up by 0.2. Inspec. Yeah, sure. Finish. So we got our bearing fitting. Save as mesh. 2.0. Just do 2.2. We got to reprint this guy. Jack cam left. 2.0. Save as mesh. Okay. Jack cam right. 2.0. Done with those. Now we can do this. Hammer cam. Save as mesh. Hammer cam 2.0. Okay. And then the new jack. Let's get that all started here. Jack, do, and test pusher. Boom. No. Auto. Arrange. And let's move this over. This will obviously need supports. Slice. so quick, actually. Sure. Print plate. 65 grams. Oh, yeah, I got that. Okay, that's it for this one. Thank you, everybody. I forgot we were streaming for a little bit there. I'll see you probably tomorrow.